Recent videos captured what seemed to be a very strong Vybz Kartel rehearsing for over 4 hours, jumping around like an energetic child in a bounce house. Just to be clear, this is a 48-year-old man that is battling an illness that would have stifled the career of an average artist, but not the Gaza boss. So for all the people who are worried that Vybz Kartel won't be ready for his epic performance on December 31st, let me be the first to tell you this: you are wasting your worry. There are people out there that believe that the Gaza boss is this flimsy version of a man that will fall down 20 minutes in his performance. To that I say, utter madness. Basura! Clearly you do not know the willpower of a man that has something to prove. You do not know the drive of a man that has been parked for almost 13 years in a cell no bigger than a one-car garage with limited mobility. If you think Vybz Kartel is going to wither away and melt away like an ice cream cone on stage, you've made a grave mistake. Since his release, Vybz Kartel has been working out at least 30 minutes every day to get his stamina in check. This has to be done because he suffers from Graves' disease, a disorder of the immune system that causes the thyroid glands to produce too much thyroid hormone, a condition called hyperthyroidism. Symptoms include excessive sweating, fatigue, irregular heartbeat, puffy eyes, weight loss, and sadly, much more. But we have to give Vybz Kartel his props, because since his release, he's been balancing his regular life with this serious illness. More joy, health, and prosperity to the Gaza boss. Fully Gaza. In other news, SkilliBang is catching flack from shallow-minded Jamaicans for the way he speaks to his American friends. Yes, you heard me correctly. People are saying SkilliBang isn't sticking to his culture because of how he code switch when speaking to people outside of Jamaica.
Backstage was like right at the fucking stage, so when he started out, he was out there watching him. The nigga creative, and I respect the art.
When people cannot find anything negative to say about you, they will find the dumbest thing to rubbish your name. Someone said, I went SkilliBang turn Yankee. Another person said, money can turn people into two different people. What the f***? But luckily, all of us are not slow and we understand, like this person that said SkilliBang is a professional, international artist and someone who never left Jamaica yet, that's why I wanna run off on them out. And then the bro Big Trap said, the man have to talk so them can understand. Someone wanna slow, eh? And I agree, wanna slow. I live in America and I make sure to speak clear enough so people can understand what I'm saying. Nothing is more annoying than when you are speaking to people outside of Jamaica and they do not understand you and you have to keep repeating yourself. Instead of them telling me to repeat myself multiple times, I speak clearly enough the first time. One day thing ya Skilly, big up SkilliBang on the whole of East Side. You see? Lucy Letby, a British neonatal nurse, was found guilty of unaliving 7 babies and was attempting to unalive 6 more. This wicked woman was accused of poisoning babies with insulin, assaulting them physically, and injecting air into their bloodstream and stomach. She would also overfeed them with milk. Reports say she would act like the sweetest human being, understanding of the parents and loving towards the newborn baby, but was a demon behind closed doors. The 34-year-old woman tried to unalive a baby girl known as Child K in February 2016 at the Countess of Chester Hospital in northwestern England. A jury then decided after a previous panel failed to reach a verdict on that count. Letby, who testified that she never harmed a child, was found guilty in Manchester Crown Court last August of most of the crimes she was charged with that took place between June 2015 and June 2016 at the hospital neonatal unit. A different jury convicted her of trying to unalive a very premature baby girl by dislodging her breathing tube in the early hours of February 2016. The parents of the baby then gasped and cried as the verdict was read after 3.5 hours of deliberation. This is why when some people say they don't want their kids around other people, you have to understand. This lady manipulated parents, showed that she was so loving and caring for the child. But behind closed doors, she was as destructive as they come. Ladies and gentlemen, be careful who you let watch your kids. So now that the election is over and Donald Trump is now president-elect, a lot of foreigners in America are now worried about deportation. But if you have a clean record and you have obtained your green card and citizenship lawfully, you have nothing to worry about. But don't take my word for it. I'm going to play some videos and you do what you want with this information.
Listen to me, guys. If you are a United States naturalized citizen or a lawful permanent resident and you have not committed fraud to get that immigration benefit, and you have not committed a deportable offense as a lawful permanent resident, or it wasn't disclosed prior to obtaining your United States citizenship, then you have nothing to worry about. You will not be getting deported. I've read Project 2025. I read it when it first came out. And if you read it, it specifically targets those that have committed fraud for the denaturalization process. Trump's mass deportation plan is targeted to people in the United States that do not have legal status, undocumented, illegal, but they don't have legal status. His first priority of these groups of people are those that have committed crimes. So you are undocumented and you have committed a crime, you are on the top of the list of being deported. If you haven't done any of those things, then you don't have anything to worry about. So we all need to take a deep breath. Breathe with me, everybody. You're not getting deported.
So many are asking, what is the repercussion of this election for green card holders? I want everybody to take a deep breath. I know it's hard. I know you're scared, but you are going to be okay. As long as you obtained your green card on the appropriate grounds, there is no fraud or no misrepresentation in your case, and you have continued to follow the laws of the United States, you are fine. You are not going anywhere.
Here's how you're going to protect yourself from deportation under the Trump administration. Number one, asylum. For some people, applying for asylum will make sense because of changed conditions in their home country, and they do have a fear of returning home, a fear of persecution based on a number of reasons. Speak with a lawyer to see whether a late asylum application makes sense for you. Number two, VAWA. If you are married or was married to a U.S. citizen or a green card holder, but they abused you in the marriage, you can seek protection under VAWA. If you are a parent of a U.S. citizen, adult son or daughter who abused you, you can seek protection under VAWA. If you're a child and you were abused, you can seek protection under VAWA. Speak with a lawyer about it, because abuse is not only physical abuse. Number three, U visa for crime victims. Have you been harassed? Have you been stalked in the past by some crazy ex? Were you abused physically in a relationship by a non-citizen, domestic violence? You can qualify potentially for the U visa for crime victims. You can be protected. If you have something very serious on your record, like false claim to U.S. citizenship or the permanent bar or a crime, you can be protected under the U visa process. Number four, T visa for victims of trafficking. If you're here in the United States and you've worked with an employer who really mistreated you, withheld your wages or paid you very low wages, and some other extreme things happened at the workplace, you could potentially be eligible for the T visa for victims of trafficking. Number five, a family petition. Have someone file for you who is eligible to file for you, like a spouse, an adult U.S. citizen, son or daughter, a sibling, a parent. Get something moving. You could also file the waiver that you'll need to keep your process going if you've overstayed your visa or you're here without inspection and you need a waiver like the 601A. Get that filed. Get something in motion. Show that you are in process to get a green card. There are other ways of protecting yourself during the next 4 years under the Trump administration. I will be talking about them. Follow for more.
Mass deportations are coming. Donald Trump just announced a group of undocumented immigrants that are leaving first. Who's leaving first? The millions of undocumented immigrants that already have an order of deportation, but for some reason They have not been sent to their country of origin. The second group to be deported, the millions of undocumented immigrants that crossed the border were given a court date but failed to appear in front of an immigration judge. The judge was to determine whether or not that person qualified for political asylum or any path to legalize their status in the United States. The third group to be deported are those who have been deported before but crossed the border again. That means sometime in the past they were deported to their country of origin, but they came back to the United States and crossed the border once again. And the last group to be deported immediately, any undocumented immigrant that has committed a crime. This applies to any undocumented person, no matter how long they've been in the United States. With over 11 million undocumented immigrants in the United States, there's panic among Latinos that in January, Donald Trump is going to make a reality what he's been saying throughout his campaign, that the moment he's reelected, there will be mass deportations.
That is it, ladies and gentle G's. You don't know, my name is negusimara. Make sure some like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so we can grow the farm. You understand? This is another episode of Negus Speaks. Have a good night.